Hello and welcome back to the version 3.9 beta. Well, I decided to take a look at one of the older Valkyries that we had in the game, Herrscher Void, and well, let's compare her free-to-play and her master's gear. Well, this is one of those characters that was released a while ago, was pretty strong back in the day when she was pretty new, but now she will also get a pre-arm, and well, overall her DPS was drastically reduced from her original release. Well, in this case, I'll be comparing the two sets that we see here, the Master and Economic, or also known as Free-to-Play, and we will see how much the signature gear is actually important for the character. Well, I pretty much expect a major performance difference between the sets and between the overall scores that you're about to see, and most of the difference between these scores is from the set bonus and overall the character equip specific bonus, and I'm pretty curious to actually see and feel the difference between these two sets, since this is one of those Valkyries that was dubbed to be one of the most gear dependent Valkyrie that there is, mostly because of the equip bonuses that she comes with the stigmas. Well, overall the Marco Polo are pretty much a decent set, and well, we will see how it will perform on this Valkyrie. Well, I'm going to start with this boss, because at this current rotation I couldn't get any other. Unfortunately, there is pretty much no other boss that's appropriate for this character, and well, you will see her performance against this boss, and overall the shield breaking ability, and the overall DPS and critical rate, and of course the damage rate. Both of these sets will be doing. Well, overall, she does do quite a bit of damage with this set, with her signature set, of course, and she recovers her Herrscher bar really quickly, and that is mostly due to the skills, to the passives, and of course due to the weapon skill, which is also really important for the character. And people also use Arias on this character for the physical damage bonus upon ultimate. And well, while I did think about trying it out, I went with the consistent stable DPS with her attacks, so I did choose this weapon, which is her signature pretty much. Well, that was the first wave of these enemies. She is dealing a good damage to them, and overall I am pretty satisfied with her performance. I am really satisfied with her performance. Overall, I think that so far she is doing a good job, and overall I am pretty satisfied with the stability of the damage, of course, and the ultimate did also a good amount of damage. Well, the ultimate is ready. Well, it is almost ready. Charge is still not completed, and 27,000 points. Well, pretty decent for this, with this lineup, with this character, on this boss, pretty decent. I am pretty satisfied with that score. Okay, well, let's see how the free-to-play set will work. Okay, sorry for the weird cut. Well, now I'll be switching to the free-to-play here, and here you will see me doing that, just for verificational purposes. Now you can actually go with the fusion build, which is also really interesting. Fusion build meaning that you can use the signature weapon combined with free-to-play or other stigmas. And overall I think that will also be a really interesting test, and I think that will also give really interesting results. But overall I'll be sticking with the economic build for this particular video, and we will see how it will perform. Now, I'll be honest, finding those stigmas took me a while, honestly, because well, as you can see, there are too many stigmas over here, because this is a beta account, but it is really kind of hard to find that stigma, and I did make a couple of mistakes during my search for it. But overall, I'm really curious to see how this set will perform. I honestly expect a major difference in performance, and I honestly expect a major dip in overall score and overall DPS. And this is something that I personally don't like that much, since it doesn't give us players a lot of possibilities and a lot of creativity, because you'll be sticking with only one set and mostly one or two weapons for the majority of time, which I personally kind of don't like, but there is nothing to be done at this point. So we pretty much have to stick with the builds that we have and with pretty much the recommended sets until new stigmas appear, and of course until new stigmas appear that replace the old ones, I guess. Well, here we are. We hopped in straight into the combat, and I can definitely say I feel the lack of damage. The difference is truly there, and not only is the overall DPS affected, I see the shield break is also affected by this set. And well, I guess we will see the score in the end. I let the score speak. So let's see how I will complete the boss. Now, interestingly enough, the same stigma set is also recommended on the S Durandal, pretty much the Marco Polo set, and on that character, those stigmas did work really well. Also, that might very well be the difference between these two characters, since in the previous test that I did, S Durandal kinda won against Herrscher the Void in terms of raw performance and in terms of raw DPS. S Durandal definitely did win that round, surprisingly, or should I say not surprisingly, because this character was indeed nerfed a lot in the past. Now, I don't know, in the beta I didn't have any problems with this character. On the live version, however, she is quite problematic, and not particularly for me. It is really problematic for the majority of players, since you will not notice any problems until you start to play co-op with this character, where if you do your ultimate, she will crash other people's game. And in my case, that didn't happen because I didn't play co-op in a while, and especially I didn't play co-op with this character, mostly because of the crashing issue. I just don't want to crash anyone's game. But I think I did a small test a couple days ago, and indeed, she still does crash phones, and in some cases it crashes your entire team, which is something that I'm not a fan of. I don't know honestly what's like the main issue behind that. I really hope that it gets fixed, but well, we will see. Overall, in the beta, definitely no problems whatsoever. She was smooth, frame rate was excellent, and overall the DPS of this character was also really satisfying, and overall I like how she works. And well, we will see what update 4.0 will bring us next month. I am pretty much looking forward to see and to test out the new pre-weapon. I think it will be interesting. Well, this battle took a while. We are 3 minutes in and the boss still didn't die. Well, I think this ultimate will kill it. 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Let's see the score. I expect a good 7,000 dip. Let's see. From 27,000 to 23,000. Okay, well, that is a really interesting result. A really interesting result that we did get there. 4,000 points difference. Well, it isn't that much. You can actually still clear the double S rank bosses on Memorial Arena without a problem. And of course on Exalted. If you're not on Exalted, it will be easier if you're lower leveled. Well, time to hop in with the signature gear, and we're about to hop in Abyss. Let's see how she will perform over there. And keep in mind, both of these runs will be pretty much with the same enemies, so the comparison will be really fair and overall really accurate. Well, interesting enough, as like I'm kind of really curious. The difference isn't that great, like only 4,000. I mean, isn't so great. It is great. The difference definitely is there. I could feel the lack of DPS compared to the signature set dramatically, and overall, still doable. You can still clear the bosses just fine without much of a problem. It will just take a bit more time to complete, and of course your score will be lower. And keep in mind, this is on the triple S rank, so really interesting result, really interesting result. Well, we can see that the signature gear is pretty much dominating in Abyss. This is Red Lotus, yeah, it is Red Lotus, nice. And as you can see, she does do a really good job at taking them out really quickly. And we're 1 minute in, and I am slowly but surely dealing with these mobs, and it will be really interesting to see in the end. Of course, I will do I will play 2 floors, of course. I'll clear the first one, and then I'll clear the second one, and then I will pretty much retry with the other build. And then we can compare the clear times and overall differences between the 2 fights, and we can pretty much see the differences between the builds. Well, first wave died at 1 minute and 31 seconds, and I am proceeding to take out the second wave of enemies. And overall, I can definitely tell you that the build is doing a good job. Now, I don't quite remember, because I didn't play the betas back in the day when she was a new character. So I kind of can't compare the beta performances between these 2 Valkyries, between the sets, and overall between the 2 Valkyries in general. But I can still kind of feel Herrscher of the Void being kind of underperforming compared to when she was first released, in terms of her DPS. Overall, the DPS is still good, still there. I mean, I have no problems, but something compared to the official release of the Valkyrie kind of isn't the same in terms of overall DPS. It feels really lower compared to previously, and I don't know what happened, but I don't know. I need to do further more testing, I guess. So these videos will also be a waypoint marker to pretty much tell us how performance has changed, how performance changes with the Valkyries, and overall, as time progresses, how they age. Since so far, some of the Valkyries in the game didn't age so well in terms of overall usability and overall DPS. Some of them are quite low, and these tests clearly will show us if there is any damage reduction, or if there is any damage missing. These tests will show us that clearly. Well, 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the fight, and we did clear that floor, and time to switch to the other free-to-play gear. Now I kinda cut that a little bit more than I should have, but we did clear that floor. We did clear the second wave. It took us 3 minutes and 32 and 34 seconds. And well, time to see how the free-to-play gear will handle Exalted Red Lotus. I'm pretty sure this is Exalted, since I don't think that they changed that in the beta server. So we will see how that rolls. And overall, this will be really interesting with the free-to-play build, with the free-to-play Stigma, because I almost kind of struggled in the second wave because of her damage not being big enough. And here it will be really interesting to see if I'll be even able to clear the floor with these stigmas. That will be really interesting to see. Of course, solo, I'm using only her solo as usual. the healer there, the Divine Prayer is there for healing, and Himeko armor is there for the shield. If things go wrong, that is. That's why I use these two. They're perfect for testing. Alright, well, let's see what will happen. And of course, if you're wondering why that lag, I have no idea. It just started happening today. Well, ultimate is ready, and ooh, I can see the damage dropped drastically. It's really interesting and not surprising at the same time. Well, we will see what will happen near the end of this little abyss run. I'm really curious to see what will happen. And overall, yep, the damage dropped drastically. The performance dropped drastically. There we go. As expected. Well, this will be a really interesting run, since I think I will not be able to clear the second floor actually. I think the bleed will kill me before that happens. Well, 1 minute in, and we see the difference in damage done on the bar. The difference is quite significant. And overall, I can definitely tell you the way the Valkyrie behaves is also really interesting. And overall, I also see movement and attack speed reduction and overall critical reduction. Well, interesting. 1 minute and almost 30 seconds into we are still at the first floor, by the way, and I'm still fighting with the first wave. Let's see, my ultimate will be ready in a short while. Okay, well, ultimate ready. Let's see what will happen. 1 minute and 50 seconds in. Okay, this is getting kind of out of hand. Ooh, 2 minutes in. Okay. Yep, I will not be able to clear the stage. Interestingly enough, and not surprising. Well, there we have it. The difference between these builds. Quite significant. Alright, sorry for the weird cut. Okay, well, I have a bad feeling about what's gonna happen in the next minute, since bleed is level 3 and I am barely scratching the surfaces of these enemies now. Well, I guess this is what happens when we this is what happens when you try a free-to-play set on God Kiana in Exalted Red Lotus. Really interesting result. I don't know how to feel about this. I am pretty much kinda worried at this moment. Yikes. I remember the day when you could actually clear the floors with Herrscher the Void with a free-to-play gear. I was actually doing that before, and I didn't have any problems with lack of DPS, but here, this isn't looking good. This is not looking good at all. Bleed level 4, and we're approaching the 4-minute mark now. This is getting heated up over here. Oh man, this would be either a close one or I will actually fail this. Let's see. Well, definitely a major difference in performance. Major difference in performance. Night and day, actually. The difference between the free-to-play and the master set is huge. Bigger than I have anticipated it to be. Well, I'm kind of surprised. I expected a difference, but such a massive difference is something that I didn't expect. 4th minute and bleed level 4, and there we go. Valkyrie failed. Alright, that was a really interesting run. Definitely the signature set is irreplaceable and overall the best thing that you can use on this character. Well, with that being said, hope you enjoyed. It was my pleasure to play this for you, and well, as always, I'll see you next time. Take care.